What's wrong with you? You do nothing. Why are you doing this to yourself? What do you even want in life? Do you even care? How can you live with yourself? You won't even make it to 35. You're just gonna wait until you die? You really let yourself go. You're pathetic. Do something!
It comes to a point where you get tired of your current lifestyle. Nobody said life was supposed to be easy. There's so much more to experience, so much more to gain. There's more to accomplish in this world, so there's gotta be a purpose. But sometimes you don't know what it is until you've got nothing left to lose. And we all know, tomorrow never comes.
So it's now or never. I'm Ryan, but some people call me Zidane. And for many years, I've made decisions that led to a rapid decline in my overall health. I've always been a gamer, and most would say gaming is a complete waste. But for me, it's a passion that I don't plan on letting go of. The goal is simple: to live a healthy lifestyle while I continue to game out of my mind. I know it won't be easy, but with the right mindset, I will prove that anything is possible. Someone's gotta do it, right? In the intro video to the series, the first challenge was put into place. With Wintertodd on 2 different accounts as the task, I'm in for an extremely monotonous grind. While doing Wintertodd on one account is easy compared to most other grinds in RuneScape, doing it on 2 different accounts at once while working out in between each round is when it gets extremely mentally and physically enduring. To give a little insight, each round lasts between 4 and 5 minutes and is going to take around 50 hours to complete the entire challenge at minimal rates. If you aren't familiar with the process of completing this mini-boss, the only thing you need to know is the structure of this challenge. And with that being said, right after every round, I will quickly get my accounts healed and geared for the next round, then I'll do 5 push-ups, 8 crunches, and 10 seconds of planking. I haven't really exercised in about 6 years, so I have to start off small so I don't risk injury. Yeah, it's that bad. In that case, even though I'll be doing roughly 3 hours of Wintertodd 5 days per week for almost a month, I will be exercising only 3 out of those 5 days. With some quick math, with over 50 hours of Wintertodd, I'll complete over 1,000 rounds combined on both accounts. That does not include the times I'll fail miserably to complete it due to a lack of paying attention. Normally, you wouldn't be able to complete that many rounds on one account at that rate, but the rate of completion is doubled considering it'll be done on 2 accounts. Here's the catch though. If I fail to complete a round on either account, meaning if I don't receive a supply crate as a reward for finishing the kill, I need to do double the amount of exercises. In order to get a reward, I need to accumulate at least 500 points. I get distracted very easily, so this is bound to happen from time to time. Therefore, there is no way to predict how many push-ups and crunches I'll be doing in total, but it's gonna be a lot. On top of all that, to further the account's progression, I'll be doing birdhouse runs on the Iron Man every hour, which will be a huge gain in my hunting level, as well as a ton of loot from the bird nests. And every time I do that, I need to do an extra 10 push-ups, 12 crunches, and 20 seconds of planks. And one more thing. At the end of each 3-hour session, I will be doing all of those exercises until my body physically can't endure it any longer, which won't be too many considering I'll already be exhausted at that point. I'll also be showing all of the loot rewards that we receive at the end. Let's get it! Well, we've finally completed the first challenge, and honestly, I feel great, man. Not only did I play the hell out of RuneScape, but I already lost 14 pounds and we're only one challenge in. I've gotten my first taste of life towards becoming a healthier person, and that's a brand new addiction for me. But I realize I can't bask in the moment. I gotta keep going. With life being a constant journey, there's so much more to do, so much more room for improvement, and we're only getting started. And I can officially say my lifestyle has made a complete 180, and all it took was me making a choice. And that's it. Another important factor was keeping myself disciplined throughout the entire way, and the monotonous grinds of RuneScape actually helped teach me how to do that. On top of that, we made some serious progress on both accounts, and with the loot I received, my Iron Man is all set for the mid-level grinds. See for yourself. So ignore the skills that are not highlighted as I started to increase some of them after I finished the grind, but we did end up with 68 woodcutting from 53, 64 fletching from 36, 54 construction from 26, and 61 hunter from 42 due to the hourly birdhouse runs. And of course, 99 firemaking from 65, allowing us to pass the 1000 total level threshold. I didn't expect this much progress, to be honest. The biggest highlight of a skill increase in my opinion is the construction level, because now I can add portals to my player-owned house for additional transportation methods. As far as the main account goes, we didn't really increase any other levels other than the firemaking level, but the main highlight being the fact that we hit 2000 total level, which is a huge milestone and something I've never achieved on any account. Now for the loot portion of the video. I'm going to put up price checks instead of the loot crate opening itself to spare the boring content. The loot you receive from the supply crates is scaled based on the levels of the skills that pertain to the loot rewards from the crates. In addition to that, the more points you get during the runs, the higher chance for more rolls on the drop table you receive. And the higher the skill level, the higher chance for better loot. And on the main account, I have a lot higher stats than the Iron Man, so the loot total will have a higher value than that of the Iron Man. A lot of the value coming from these crates comes from the various seeds for farming, amassing to over half of the loot total value. Other notable mentions are the raw cash as well as the burnt pages to put in the Tome of Fire, which have decreased in value significantly over the past year, otherwise the total loot value would be a lot higher. And I don't really need these for skilling purposes at the moment, so I'll just sell them for raw cash at a grand total of 10.9 mil GP, which isn't that bad. However, this GP will help pay for the supplies I will need when I embark on the next challenge, which will not be revealed until the end of this video. Now for the Iron Man. Here's where it gets interesting. On a main account, you can just use gold to buy supplies whenever you'd like. But since Iron Men don't have the ability to trade other players or use the Grand Exchange to buy the supplies, the loot rewards are a lot more meaningful. In addition, a lot of Iron Men do Wintertod very early on, since early skill training such as farming and herb lore is very tedious. And after receiving all of the seeds and herbs I got, I now understand why this is so popular to do. And even though the rewards scale through certain skill levels, the difference doesn't really seem significant. If I save the crates until I increase the skill levels, the rewards won't be as useful as they are now, because this loot is hard to come by in the beginning stages of an Iron Man. One of the useful items for Iron Man to receive here is the Tome of Fire, which will be my best in slot offhand magic upgrade for a long time. The drop rate is 1 in 1000, and I did manage to receive that over 500 crates, and with about 1000 total rolls on the drop table, I had normal luck for the tome. The gold value for this loot doesn't really matter since I can't sell it anyways, but I am 100% set for early and mid-level herb lore and farming training. It turns out doing birdhouse runs every hour was well worth it. A lot of seeds you obtain can also be received from the supply crates, but not all of them. For example, the most notable seeds being the redwood tree seed and dragon fruit tree seed, which are also very rare, so I was lucky on those. I also got some rings which can be enchanted into teleports, as well as 439 bird's nests, which can be made into Ceridome brews, which are some of the most important potions for mid to late game. To top it all off, I even got a few spirit seeds for some nice farming experience in the future. If I didn't mention this earlier in the video, I started growing cats very early on in the Wintertod grind, so now we have an abundance of death runes as well. You trade cats to civilians in West Arty, and with the easy Arty diaries completed, you receive 200 death runes per cat. Lastly, some untradeable loot you receive from the supply crates is the Pyromancer outfit. Its only purpose is that it is considered warm clothing, which helps protect you from the cold damage dealt by the Wintertod. Personally, I just think it makes for some pretty dope drip. Any extra pieces of pyromancer clothing can be traded in for supply crates or even burnt pages. Since the burnt pages can be added to the Tome of Fire to charge it up, getting the burnt pages will be way more beneficial to me on the Iron Man. Now that we look like an arsonist, it's time to go burn some shit down. So, let's take a minute to talk about the process. While dramatically changing my lifestyle out of nowhere, I naturally ran into some problems along the way. For example, I started live streaming this challenge, and the accountability factor behind that is nothing to be reckoned with. In fact, it's actually pretty underappreciated in life. For example, if you don't have the full motivation to do that on your own, sometimes you need that extra push from somebody that cares about you in your life. And I had major support from the jump from the people in my life, so it pushed me to work harder and find the self-worth within myself. But here's the thing though. Having to make sure that you're on top of your game at every single moment is something that I'm not used to. Because I'm usually cooped up inside my room playing RuneScape by myself like most other people, and I also like to play inefficiently because I don't like thinking about it while I'm playing. But like I said, having to make sure I'm on top of my game and doing all my exercises in between every single round, huge stress factor at first. But like I said, the support factor behind me pushed me to keep going. And all you gotta see is a tiny bit of results and the changes in your mindset, and things start to become a little bit more clear. Another hump I had to get over was immediately change my bad habits into good habits. In years of repeating the same bad habit over and over again, it starts to become like muscle memory. Because after all, we are creatures of habit. And the thing is, doing those bad habits is a lot easier than changing them into good habits. And I had to do things like putting the right stuff into my body, eating the right things at the right time, putting myself on the right sleep schedule, or else I'll never be able to form a consistent path. And after all, for myself, I realized that health is the number one factor. Because I know without health, I'm never going to find that happiness that I truly want. So I have to start by focusing on the problems and the changes within myself. Then I can focus on projecting that energy outward. Because after all, we only have one life to live. And we're not here for a long time. And at this point, I'm trying to make myself useful while I'm here. And I wouldn't have said that a few months ago. But I realized I just had to take a step back and stop overcomplicating life and just putting it into simpler terms for myself. Because it starts by making that first step. And I know that first step for me is that I have to make those changes to improve my health. If we have the ability to regress immensely in our lives, then we certainly have the ability to do the opposite. And even though positive changes come with a price, negativity results in even bigger consequences. Now, to get on a more lighter note, I failed these challenges many times because I got distracted very easily, especially when I had people talking to me on live stream. Gotta do double. Gotta do double. Gotta do double. Gotta do double. 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 But the thing is, even though I was already doing thousands of push-ups, thousands of crunches, thousands of seconds of planking, the fact that I had to do double every time I failed a round still counts as a dub in my book because it is still beneficial to my health. In all seriousness, I have nothing but appreciation for the ones that have my back since day one. And they know who they are. These days, I like to keep my circle small, and the ones that I keep with me are the ones that got my back till the very end, and vice versa. Much love, man, for real. With the first challenge out of the way, I've now paved way for a new path. There's so much more to do in RuneScape, so I can challenge myself in any way. But there's been something bothering me. As a high-level account in the game, the bank is looking rather slim. We gotta make some damn gold so we can make some dope upgrades. And I know what must be done. Something I've been putting off for a while now. But it's finally time to make that jump and take my game to the next level, because after all, I also strive to live up to the gamer hype. And what better way to do that than to throw myself in the chambers of Xeric. With many valuable treasures lying within, I have to prove to the game that I'm worthy of doubling my bank. After all, the only way I can do that is if I take a chance and work on getting better at it. Aside from that, I'm not sure exactly how energy circulates throughout this universe, but one thing I do know. Simply working on bettering myself can help bring up positive energy to the universe. And of course, life's gonna decide for itself. But who knows? If I continue to work hard, follow my passions, and inspire others throughout this journey, maybe good things will happen.